Discretion is the greater part or better part of valor. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, and our idiom today is discretion is the greater part of valor. Discretion is the better part of value. I've heard it said both ways. I've seen it written both ways. Any way you look at it, it means pretty much the same thing, whether you use the word greater or better. So discretion, what do we mean by discretion? Discretion, of course, is acting according to our own judgment, what is in alignment with who we are. Valor, of course, means great bravery, right? So what does acting in accordance with our own judgment have to do with acting and showing great bravery? Well, this is one of those idioms that's been around for a very long time. In 1477, Charles Churchill used it. In Henry the Fourth in 1596 used it. And of course, one of our favorite with all the idioms and famous sayings is William Shakespeare, and he used it in The Ghost in 1762. So it's one of those idioms that's popped up over and over and over again, probably because it's a proverb as well as being an idiom, and it means that it's better to avoid dangerous situations than to confront them. Sometimes, right? It depends how it aligns with who you really are and what you stand for. It's better to be careful and to do something that's reckless or unnecessary. You know, discretion nowadays is more about information than it is about and communication than it is about actual physical danger or bravery. When I think of this idiom or this expression, I think of how does it interact and how do we use it in our everyday life with respect to common sense, as well as how do we use it to supersize and grow our businesses? How can we use it and how can it benefit us in our businesses? Well, my old treat people the way you want to be treated comes up, of course. Treat people the way they expect to be treated. Know what you stand for and what you expect of yourself and the people that you interact with. And then know when it's right to share information and when it's not. When it's right to say something and when it's not. When it's in alignment with who you are and when it's not. I guess to me, great bravery nowadays is more about acting in accordance with what you say you're going to do, being consistent and being true to your word, being true to yourself, and as well as, you know, behaving in ways that match your core, your morals and your values and the things that are important to you. I guess it's like do the right thing, but choose your battles. Know when to stand up and speak up and be on the side of somebody and back them up, and know when to not. Know when to step away and say, okay, this is something that's really none of my business, and so why am I sticking my nose into it? Now, that doesn't mean that we don't support people and stand up for them, especially our customers and the people that we interact with and the people we are in relationships with, but it also means that we need to sometimes let people stand up for themselves. Let them decide what is in their own discretion, what is in their own best interest, because guess what? Only they know that. We don't know what's in the best interest of anyone else. Sometimes we think we do, especially when we're parents or grandparents. We think we know what's best for our kids and our grandkids and the people that work with us, our employees, our customers. But a lot of times we are absolutely positively wrong. Last time I thought I was a mind reader, I wasn't a very good one. So I've stopped trying to think that I know what everybody's thinking or doing or intending. And guess what? I do this crazy thing called asking them. That is a form of discretion. That is a form of common sense. So what are some ways that discretion can help us in our businesses? Well, it can increase customer satisfaction, right? Customers know what to expect from us. They know that if we tell them something in confidence, and this is of course legally binding in some industries and some professions, but not in all. It should be business ethics. You know, if somebody tells you something in confidence, you don't go blabbing it to the rest of the world. It doesn't always work that way in business, but it does in certain fields like the legal field, the psychology field, the doctor medical field. My medical history is nobody else's business but my own. And yours is nobody else's business but yours. And so we expect that to be kept discreet and confidential. We expect certain aspects of our life to be kept confidential depending on who we're revealing them to. So you can increase customer satisfaction by being discreet, treating people the way you want to be treated, having common sense, being true to your word, letting them know what to expect. It also can ensure safety and Confidentiality. Again, some things are absolutely positively confidential. In the business world as well, have you ever had to sign a confidentiality agreement? I think every corporation I ever worked for, I had to sign a confidentiality agreement and a conflict of interest agreement because I always had businesses on the side. I always had to disclose that to my employers so that they knew I did not have a conflict of interest in my business with and in my employment contract with them, because when we work for somebody, we're actually signing a contract to work for them, whether you physically signed a contract or not. Now, a lot of times you don't sign contracts because that gives employers more power to choose who they are going to continue to have a relationship with or not. But the jobs in corporate America that I had, I always had a contract. It was always at the level where there would be a contract involved. And contracts are another place where discretion is the greater part of valor, right? It's the better part of valor, because how you behave, how you honor your agreements and commitments and contracts says everything about you. That's one thing we forget sometimes when we're communicating with other people, or when we're responding to social media or writing emails, or the things that we especially put in writing or on video or in tape. We forget that everything we say is subject to interpretation. Everything we say matters. How we say it matters. So I would love to know your particular experience with this idiom or this expression. I don't recall ever saying to anyone in my entire life, and I'm 60 years old, discretion is the greater part of valor, or discretion is the better part of valor. Have I heard it and read it and understand the expression? Have I thought that I've lived my life and behaved that way? Yes, but I honestly don't think I've ever used this idiom. Curious if any of you have. Go out, make it an amazing day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow, because that's what's expected of me, with another interesting idiom. What does it mean? Where does it come from? And how might you use it in not only your business, but in your life right now? Take care.